How y'all feel out there? Want to say thank you in advance for tuning into this video here. It's been quite a while, and I was actually looking at the screen for maybe about 3 minutes, like straight, before I even hit the record button. Which means to let you know that I really didn't want to put out a video, but there's been something in me kind of, nudging me to be like, hey, look, go on and say a little something. And oftentimes I don't want to come with this energy that's kind of like, even though you can probably hear it in my voice and detect it or gauge my energy from what you're seeing upon my countenance. But it's maybe I could have saved it for a better time. Whereas like it's nighttime right now. Perhaps today when the sun is shining, typically ought to be more vibrant. However, I am, and I gotta give. You know what? Before I go on, let me just say thank you for all the followers and those who continue to look upon my videos and tune in because I feel that with all that, with the barrage of thoughts that I have coming in, and whether it's ringing true irrefutably, or not, I feel like it's a plague. I feel like it's a curse, but at the same time, I try to accentuate the positive, and I look at it as a blessing, yes, and it's an honor. I say it's an honor. I believe it's an honor because you're only as good as, or you're as good as the opponent that you're up against. Feel me? So typically, when it comes to man, it's man versus man. It's that individuality. So it's us. We're versing ourselves. It's like that dualistic nature. In addition to the a lot of environmental factors that contributes to our detriment, that contributes to our health, that contributes to our success and prosperity, and whatever you want to cling to it, to the concept. And I gotta say thank you for tuning in and sticking with me because you kind of take on this energy as well. However, I know a lot of people like to have a good time and don't nobody want to deal with these kind of things, but I think, or rather feel that when we say or when we feel like we don't want to deal with it, as if I really want these thoughts coming to me every day, but I can't. I can't just flip a switch and be like, no. All right. I tried drinking it away. I tried smoking it. I tried all kind of aversions, styles of aversion, or evasion, rather, but it didn't work. It always comes back. I can get drunk no matter what. No matter where I go, I can get high no matter what. It's gonna seep through and it's going to calculate something and boom, boom, boom. I already said in an old video that I even went, I test this thing. I could go watch porn and it'll still calculate things like, yo, this ought to be this. It's like everything I see is a nail. I feel like I'm a hammer and everything I see is a nail, so to speak. Not to say I'm out there bickering and trying to be like, hey, don't do this or don't do that and that. No. But I have been, I didn't ask for this and I try my best to temper my thoughts, temper my energy and, what I give my energy to, in fact. And this is why I typically stay quiet throughout the day. And because I don't like to, run my mouth. I'm not on that kind of time. I'm working on developing better mannerisms, in which I feel I have more than others, many others. And it's not bragging rights either. It's just what I feel to be factually so. A lot of places where I go, which is how I know I need to seek new, seek a new environment. You know, I, inevitably a circle, but a lot of places where I go here in New York City, especially, which I feel is a cesspool, no doubt, you have a lot of people who's using the N word, who's just ranting and just using like a whole bunch of vulgarity and profane language. And then when I open up and be like, yo, what's the reason for all these N words and that? They be like, yo, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? They be like, yo, like what you mean? This is how we speak and that. And I'm like, you know what? And this is what's happening. A lot of times we get that, like, I get, sometimes we feel remorseful and somewhat guilty because we be like, yo, we come from the hood where we used to, you know, and may still have those slang words come out every now and then. And that's true. It's not easy to rid that rhetoric in which was conditioned, or anything that you've been conditioned with, you know, or in, being that I grew up in the hood, but sometimes even when I talk to some people, it still slips out. But I don't mean it in any kind of derogatory, it's not derogatory, it's not, and maybe a lot of guys out there who speak it may not feel the same way. I mean, they may feel the same way as I do right now, but they don't know that it's often used. And I'm like, you know what? It's something that we need to fix. When I call it out, I'm not calling you out like you are a ignoramus or you're a fool or you're a chump or you're. No, it's just that I feel, which is something that I'm working on. I feel it'll be the betterment for the betterment of all mankind, because especially this is something that's been going on for years with the use of the N word. I mean, if I go around and I'm talking to people and people that's walk, I mean, first of all, you're in the public, and I know the public is the public, but this is why a lot of things got to be undone, because a lot of people feel, yo, it's freedom of speech, bro, and I can say what I want. This is how I know a lot of people don't. They're lost and far gone from what it is to have a decent culture, because a lot of guys and women out there too that got that kind of mouth. I'm sure they use it in home. Me, you're not bringing that in my house, which means I don't like it around me quite often. Times here where I go, places that I traverse throughout Queens and Brooklyn. It's just, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Anyway, um, my real reason for coming here right now is to say that I made I came up with something today. I was reminded, in fact, and I'm going to share it here, where I saw a mother and her daughter. They came on the bus today. I took a bus ride out, and they came on. Her daughter was so beautiful and adorable, man. I was like, yo, I can't wait to have one. God spent life, and the mother was decent looking and everything. She was well, groomed, and both for the daughter and the mother was groomed, and the daughter was so happy to have her little snacks and looking on to people on the bus and smiling. And I wanted to say this to the mother, but I just held it in my head, in which I probably could have, you know, broke some ice and gave a little conversation. However, I said to myself, well, what is it that, what happened, especially to my people in the hood and those of African descent here in the Ado's family, African descendants of slaves. I said to myself, like, what happened to us? Like, what transpired in our lives that may continue to transpire, where we lose that essence of being jovial, of being young at heart, embracing that inner child. Now, embracing that inner child doesn't mean we're going to be goofballs out here and we're going to be inconsiderate, you know, which may be giving allowances for people's foul mouths out there. No, but and some people may want to quote me right now. I mean, quote the Bible on me right now and be like, well, the book says, but when I became a man, I put away all childish things. Well, look, with all due respect, I mean, we could take that into account as well because put away all childish things, then you know, I'm here in my adulthood. I could be doing far better, but there's things that I'm addressing. I have been given the mission. I didn't ask for this. I've been given the mission, bro, sister. And for those who've been following me, know what's up. And for those who don't know, you want to converse, hit a brother up, drop a line. Big shout out to all my brothers out there and sisters out there doing their thing. But there are some things we really need to address as a collective, and some things I got to do individually as well. And I think I know exactly what I'm talking about, which is the reason I kind of jumped off earlier in the video where I was like, a lot of people don't want to deal with these issues when I said, and we going in, that's, it, you know what happened? It gets swept under the rug, or you can put it in like a jar. And on that jar, you can take a piece of paper, write on that paper, neglect or neglecting, and just plaster it onto the bottle. And this everything is going in there. That neglecting jar. I mean, that the jar of neglect, right? Just keep throwing sand in there, I guess. Each grain of sand, since sand represents time. A lot of things we're not addressing, and we have a lot of fears. So it goes into a state of neglect. But no matter what, the sun comes up in the morning. Things got to be done, brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? But what happened? Like, what happened? Where did we lose that essence more so? I think because if adulthood is supposed to be, yeah, this is it. I mean, well, considering the dualistic nature, because we have the young and the old, and we have memorabilias, picture albums and whatnot that remind us of the days of old. Music, a big one. Movies, to which we can now draw up memories, sweet memories and whatnot, and reminisce, Well, I think we have to work hard on keeping that fountain of youth, keeping it pure. And for sure, I know I got to work on that. But it's so hard for me to exemplify such character when I'm plagued with, these ideas, these concepts, and these thoughts about what's deteriorating, dehumanizing, demoralizing, degenerating humanity. And considering we always talk about melanin this and melanin that, black man this and black woman that, African and queen, kings and queens. Well, it sounds very good, and indeed, as it was in the days, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end, and all things shall continue to be so, which is of the bloodline. Yes, indeed, it's all good. We have much to aspire to, but and I know it's not going to happen overnight. Although I do believe in spontaneity. I just don't see it, and I think I know a lot of tricks has been a lot of fear tactics and fear mongering and a lot of things that we've been through. The Edos family, it was very traumatizing. So we have intergenerational traumas, but I think we really need to embrace healing. I think we need to stop giving power, even though we will cite it, we will lay claim to whatever it is that we've been through. But I think we need to focus on solutions. Solutions. And don't let the ego get in the way. Because I'm seeing that clearly now. You know, yes, we have much to aspire to, but I'm like, wow. And I consider with all the mixing that's been going on out there, what are we reaping from it? If you study spermology and then you look upon who you are according to your paternal line, you will start to draw up some things and you'll be like, whoa, wait a minute. Maybe I need to reconsider on some things or to, uh, kind of like reconcile, start anew. Yeah, trust me. Study spermology, you study, when you know the essence and the beauty and the gifts of your blood, and you really get in tune with the Creator, you trust me, brothers and sisters, you're gonna be like, oh shoot, man, I never wish I touched through, or I never had sex with yada yada yada. I never gave the time of the day, and yeah, trust me when I tell you, man. I'm surely I have some regrets of my own. Oh yes, indeed. You know, so let's say if I was to mix, hey man, I'm applying everything in the law books of man to have my just dues and to solidify for my posterity. Trust me, and if there's anything missing, well, that will be on behalf of not just me, but also the women that I'm with. Because I don't care, men, fellas, we know we want the best for our future. Everybody walking on earth is the seeds of their father. That goes to show you our prominence. So consider what I'm saying. And then start to look into start to factor in what we're dealing with as a collective. In the hood, out the hood, middle class, so on and so on. 2024, how is Black America looking? Considering all we've been through and losses incurred. A lot of, I'm sorry for the brothers and sisters that got caught up out there because somebody looked good and it was charming. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Well, I rock that. I rock to the sleep, bro. And yada, yada, yada. I pulled out the shotty on shorty. Oh, yeah? And on top of that, we got all this flaming going on in duplicity. This is what kings do. That's what we're using the melanin for. Just, I'm just saying. And don't take it personal, please. It's more, this is maybe tough, but it's really all spiritual. Because I don't have it in me, what I do in a way today, seeing how deep this thing goes, to really do harm onto somebody. I ain't looking to cause no injurious harm, but to protect my life. If it comes down to it, then I gotta do what I gotta do. But that's far off. Like I keep that's the way back of the mind. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things I question. I'd be like, yo, we talk about words cast spells. Then how come when we speak things, which is very profound and irrefutable and yada yada, how come it doesn't? What kind of change does it or it should bring about? Hence all the preaching we've been doing out of the Bible for decades, centuries. This is what we got in 2024. I mean, come on, man. For all the African American inventors and engineers who have kids and may have had kids indeed, I mean, where are they? How come they're not leading figures? They don't gotta be all over TV and whatnot. But where are they? Non-profit organizations and outreach programs and exchange programs for students abroad and domestic. I mean, where are they? Consider. Please, take a look at the list. Garrett Morgan, Madam C.J. Walker, Lewis Latimer. Come on. Where are they? Where are these kids? Where are they kids and what are they doing with what they the inheritance, not to be all in their business, but we got work to do as a collective. Who's who's dictating the way that they move and what type of affairs do they have? Just something to question. I mean, so we can really start a broad amalgamation. Do you hear me? I mean, when you read about George Washington Carver and all he gave to America, look what they did to that man, y'all. That's that's proof right there, right? Thank you, Heavenly Father. They sterilized that man. You ever heard a video, or you ever heard? I mean, I'm sorry. Have you heard audio from George Washington Carver to hear how that man speak? How soft at his age, in that old age, how soft he spoke. He spoke more softer than Tevin Campbell, man. I mean, this is serious, man. We can go up and down the line to men and women, and in those times, with holes being sprayed and lynchings going on and all that. And look what they still gave America. So where are they? Much less for those who've been following me when I spoke about, the concerns I have as far as African ambassadors and ministers and whatnot, leading figures from the motherland that came here to rub shoulders with people in the United Nations for years, but never facilitated a program to get us out of here according to some kind of exodus or contingency plan for an exodus. Or maybe that is something that I'm missing. Or maybe it's extremely covert. But I have questions, that's all, and concerns. Operation Moses was successful where Israeli leaders or whatnot, or these members, they chartered planes into Ethiopia and took them out. Hear what I'm saying. Operation Solomon, Operation Moses, look it up yourself. They had the power to bring planes into a foreign land. Which continent got the most richest resources in the world? Africa don't got airplanes, aircrafts? Operation Moses, Operation Solomon was supposed to be some kind of rescue mission. We continue to cook, we continue to entertain, we continue to be exploited, heavily compromised. And what? You remember what took place during the 50 years of hip hop anniversary? How watered down it looked for all that those brothers and sisters been through in that field? In addition to the lyrics that's being put out there in the sampling of wonderful old hits where they come on, man. Come on, y'all. So now, what is it? Me and a couple others got to be the ones, yo, now let them deal with that, man. Know what I'm saying? We over here, we getting this, we getting that. I think about some of the people that we have lost and some of those that we have looked out there on the streets somewhere and maybe like, yo, that person is a skit, so this and that. My considerations are different today. Because I get looked down, I get talked down, I get mocked, people heckling. I mind my business. I don't cause harm to nobody. I just speak the truth and what I feel. I express myself from time to time. I rebuke that homosexual spirit. which is unnatural, and I done went in on that, where I actually said that I'm in defense. I am in defense of those who have been victimized and coerced, saying that, yo, come on up out of there, but I get crucified. This is love in America. I mind my business. I got my bag. I don't say nothing disrespectful to nobody out there. So sometimes I question, what God are we talking about out here? And I'm getting tired of people. Don't bring that. I say it over and over. Please don't bring that Jesus philosophy to me, unless you're drawing up something that pertains indefinitely to what we're dealing with, where you're making some sort of reference to drive a point on home to say, hey, well, okay, but you know, yo, man, I think about them out there, and I'll be like, yo, Lord knows, boy. Some people may say, yo, you need to get a job and get off your ass. I don't think y'all really know what's going on out here. Trust me. I have a damn good resume. I have many reputable jobs. And let me tell you something, the CIA, the feds, the Jewish people, Italians, they are the best record keepers. Knowledgeable people. I'm not calling out, you know, I'm not calling them out like they're savages. I just got to put that out there because it's oftentimes when you say things, that's how they feel. But you know what? I'm getting tired of trying to like clear shit up, because if whoever, they could still, no matter how you may try to put it, people still might try to take things away or get misconstrued. Moving further, moving along. They're the best record keepers. Information is power. Knowledge reigns supreme. Yes, indeed, undoubtedly. Look, man, there's a lot of games that's continuing to be played, and I know this for sure. I feel it in my heart is that I know with my people in particular, they're not ready to make the sacrifice. So for those who look down upon me, middle finger to you. Trust me, no remorse for you. Middle finger to you. I know where my heart is and what I'm up against, and not even knowing that I'm battling, trying to fight things out the world to save you. Huh. In closing, oh yes, hold on. And also, my people, they don't have the time, and they don't want to lose their material assets or liabilities, car, clothes or whatnot, house, apartment or whatnot. And I know it ain't easy, but I say to myself that if there was more who had it within them, such as myself, what we can do to this place and make our way on up out of here righteously. I came up with a question the other night. I was like, what would happen if just one tribe, one African tribe that came over here by whatever means here in America, what if one tribe, let's say the Yoruba tribe, all men of the Yoruba tribe and their seedlings, what if one tribe say, yo, we out of here, we out of America, what would the other tribes do? What kind of message will that send throughout America? How will it reverberate? what kind of ripple effect will it will it will it cause? Will it cause? Just one. I wonder. Huh. Aside from that, I would have to say in closing, everything is of time. And I can see how the Lord works. I can see how the devil works. Everything works on time. Everything is encompassed around time. So I get it. I can quit the drinking. I could go back to that. I can go back to what I've done before. No smoking, no drinking, no dairy, no bread, you know, or heavy starch, period. And what that will do, but I see what's being played out here in regards to my European or the European uh, family, the European people, is that I see it like this. Some people may say they're using wicked tactics. I think it's actually an act of desperation per se, where they know what we're due for once we receive anointings and to be exalted from the Lord. They know what's due unto us and unto them. But I will give in measure a benefit of the doubt in knowing that or feeling that this is why the men in particular of those nations would want to give their daughter on to that African man. Because as the Bible puts, which is all a matter of choice, exercise and power of choice, that the Gentiles can be saved, etc., in which all can be saved, meaning, or let into the higher kingdom, depending on your pedigree, could be, yeah, could be, they can see it, but through the man. So the cleaner you are, brother, and the righteous you are, the heaven that you can create here and bring here upon earth, especially the darker you are, everybody's gonna want in on that. And that's why your energy field, when it widens like that and you get your blessing and your anointings, it's like, whoa, trust what I'm telling you, man. You know, it's just that so many things has been done where we have these still mental conditions of a lot of people, especially of the black and white, so-called black and white, the Africans and Europeans, especially the Africans, because of what we faced and what we remember here, and we're constantly reminded through movies and whatnot, is what took place through this brutal slavery that caused a lot of disdain and distrust, you know, and there's much to work through, but considering who we are as when we're in our adulthood, huh? Let's get to the fact of the matter. Easier said than done, but be straightforward. And if it happens that there is a no, then so shall it be. Because this is not a hate thing. It's all about getting things and setting things right, setting things straight. Lord knows I like straight talk. I appreciate the artistic nature of coded language, though. I do. And slick talk. I get it. It's good exercise for the for the mind. Yeah, I dig that. But I do straight talk, and perhaps I can work on being more crafty indeed, in which I do have a little arsenal. Yeah, I do. I just keep to myself because I'm not looking to entertain people out there. You know, I'm still continuing to learn things as we all are forever learning and teaching in many ways, not just verbally. So I have hope, indeed. I have faith. Yes, indeed. That's what's keeping me afloat. Trust me. Though at the end of the day, and as I mentioned about neglect, the longer we take to deal with these issues, which really starts with self, then the longer it's going to take to establish a real utopia. However, with considerations that, let's say, the brighter you become and more clean, trust me when I tell you on this one, is that you will be removed from somewhere, and that's the doings. This could be a bit tricky. Now, you can have all the faith, but this is where I get a little bit weary or whatnot. Like, yo, what's going on here? Because when I see healthy looking brothers and sisters out there, as I said before, and I'm like, why are they flaming? Where did this come from? And yada yada yada. This is what health is all about, and this and that. They don't speak what I speak upon as if they're scared to talk it when it's very serious and true. They continue to the word again, neglect it. So I'm like, yo, what is this? What is this healthy thing? And but they look clean to me and da da da. But I'm like, something's wrong. That's why they still here. And we haven't really made much of an advancement as we should have as a collective African family, ADOS family here in America, or in the Americas. But I have a feeling that yes, the cleaner you are, you would have to be removed from an area. You can't take no heirloom seeds of a fruit and vegetable or herb and plant it in the hood, especially here in North America with these crazy weather conditions and inconsistencies and other deplorable environmental factors in the ghetto hoods. So when you become clean, you have to move. Some people think, "Oh, you moving shady." It's really not it's not the man or the woman. It's God working through them. But a lot of us have been disconnected and lobotomized that we don't know how to tune in to that station. We can tune in to 105.1 and 97 point, 97.1, 107.5 or whatnot. A lot of us can't tune in to that God frequency, to that station, and, and let that music guide you. We got work to do. It's a battle, and I'm gonna continue to put my faith and my trust in self and that of the Creator, this universal God force. I am just working on becoming extremely vigilant because there's many things that I question because I'm looking at the proliferation of the filth and what's taking place and all these. I'm like, yo, this is it. So I feel I gotta be ready that if anything comes up where I feel threatened, I have to do work. I have to do work. So, you know, there it is. So I don't only want the best for me, I want it for you as well. But it's not just a matter of just saying it and thinking this is gonna voila. We got work to do. We have to address things. I believe that's what's really gonna change this world and shift the paradigm is when we start to speak things out. Trust me when I tell you, it gets so much weight off your shoulder, which is it's kind of ironic that I said that when I said at the beginning of this video that I really didn't want to do this when I actually do feel a bit better to get it on out. you know. But at the end, after putting it out, what's going to be done next? See, it's hard to follow, and it's hard to do anything on your own. There's nobody who, the guy who opened up McDonald's didn't just do it by himself. I think that was a crazy example to use. Um, Farrakhan don't do it by himself. Malcolm X didn't do it by himself. Martin Luther King didn't do it by themselves. Marcus Garvey didn't do it by themselves. Come on, you feel me? Do you understand? So, you know, I wish the best for me, of course, and for everybody, man. But we have to be real. We have to be real. I believe that a lot of people made sacrifices and took chances for lesser things in life. But for what we got to do and for where we ought to go, if we're going to terraform America, well, then let's stop wasting time. Go to the drawing board and let's do this from state to state. Brotherhood. When I say brotherhood, I ain't talking, well, no, I ain't talking that kind of, nah, what happened to fraternities and all that. Nah, with all due respect. I spoke on that a bit too in the past. And it's more I could say on that, but I'm not at this point. But you're gonna, cause it's getting there, y'all. The choice is gonna be: you're gonna stay in America, or you're gonna go abroad and to get reconnected with your tribal brothers and sisters. Now you can do it here, but that no matter what, we have to work on going back to and re-embracing, not even re-embracing, excuse me, but to be resurrected into into who you truly are according to blood. Get to know the tribal cultures. I mean, the culture, the heritage, the foods. This way we can start, you know, opening better restaurants and eating better foods and cooking at home. Let's get to that. The jollof rice, the fufu, all that, man. Yeah, trust me. Trust me, man. So, that's all I got for right now. And I'm going to go ahead and enjoy the rest of my night. Get a couple Z's in, man. Peace, love, and light. Big shout out to everybody who tuned in and continue to follow, and spread the word. Much love, yo, Ashe. Peace.